Welcome back to One Hope Racing, ladies and gentlemen. We are here again once tonight for the Pinnacle tier. We've had a few issues tonight, just another one to add to that long list. If you were just watching, we are live again. We will be getting going in a moment's time for the race. We've already had qualifying. Of course, it was Montana who got on pole position for that one in an absolute excellent effort. He set a sensational lap. The full qualifying results, we'll run you through them quickly while we're here. It was Montana followed by his teammate Tom, and then it was legend Owen Watt and Henry rounding out the top 10. A front row lockout is no bad way to start a season, that is for sure. Of course, the top 10 will all be starting on the soft compound tyres, but we can run you through that when we get onto the formation lap. If this is your first time watching us here and you weren't with us on the earlier stream, I am joined alongside Jamie, and I will once again ask how you were doing, even though I may already know.
Yeah, I'm very good. Obviously, have a pretty decent sort of evening, and looking forward to this race tonight, and hopefully we can third time lucky, because it seems the game isn't playing ball, it seems yet again. So hopefully, it could be a good one. As we mentioned, Owen Wyatt, with a pretty good qualifying there. He was asked in the press conference. He seems to be in a confident mood. How do you think it'll last? And he said he's loving the Suzuka track and he feels fast, and he thinks it's one of his favourite tracks along with Abu Dhabi in Brazil. So Owen Wyatt is in a confident form, and can he push for the podium like he got in the pre-season race?
He will certainly be hoping he can push for the podium, although there is a lot of drivers to get through. We are getting going finally for the ERT Suzuka race here in the One Hub Racing Pinnacle tier. It will be an excellent one, folks. Don't you go anywhere. Of course, while we are loading in, we can run you through a few fun facts, if you'd like. I'm sure you'd love to hear some fun facts while you're waiting. Suzuka was built by Honda, and it was designed by a Dutchman back in 1962. There's a Dutchman starting in third position. Will he live up to his ancestors' work? It was designed by Jean Hagenholtz. I hope I pronounced that. My Dutch is not too great, but hopefully that is correct. In 1962, 11 World Drivers' Championships have been decided here. No World Drivers' Championship will be decided tonight. However, you can definitely get the ball rolling in a very, very good way. 60% of the lap around Suzuka is in fact corners, and almost all of them are over 95 kilometers an hour. That's 60 miles an hour if you are over the sea in America or in the United Kingdom. So it is a very tricky circuit. 18 corners, of course. Some famous ones: Dunlop, Degners, the no-name hairpin, the Casio Triangle, and the Spoon Curve. You'll have heard them names all over motorsport. And how could I forget the big one, 130, or the flat left-hander. That is tricky on the best of days. We are loading in on the formation lap, and I'll give Jamie the opportunity to run you through some of One Hub's fantastic sponsors.
Yeah, we do have some great partners and sponsorships. And first off, we got Next Level Racing, who are sponsoring our prizes this season. And also, for this tier, the champions tier, there could be a very nice prize waiting. If you're the champion, and you could be put into the Next Level Racing ambassador program if you meet the criteria. So that could be a nice opportunity for these drivers if you win the championship. Also, we are sponsored by Pure Sim Gear, who are providing this league by providing a pair of their sim racing gloves to the driver with the most combined poles and fastest laps. Also, our partners are Verspatine, who are sponsoring our prizes along with Next Level Racing. We've also got ERT, who are sponsoring the Go and Get Stuff Award and the trophies, and we've got 6 ERT drivers in this tier. And also SimGrid, who are providing our sign-up, race results, and all sorts so far this season as we're getting underway. And I think they're getting underway, but I believe Konzo may be in the wrong position on the grid.
I believe he may be. I believe Khalifa is also in the wrong position of the grid, but we'll look over that one, as we're not the experts at grid restarts. We're the experts at stream restarts. It is soft tyres for the top 11. In fact, the matter is starting on the softs in that McLaren, looking to keep with the front runners. Clearly, it is mediums then for 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, and 16th. But it's Montana who will lead the way. here in Suzuka. The first Japanese Grand Prix was not here at Suzuka, it was at the Fuji Speedway, but the Fuji Speedway ran out of a deal when Toyota pulled out of it in 2010. Will the Williamses go racing, or will team orders prevail? We will find out in a few moments' time here for the Pinnacle tier. Had some fantastic races tonight here in one up the points tier, the prospect tier. Hopefully the Pinnacle tier will be the pinnacle and provide you the best racing this evening. Lots of tyre warming, lots of getting ready for our front two. They plan to go racing and they plan to go very fast in doing so. This is the famous 130R we are talking about. You don't want to end up on that Pirelli sponsorship on the right hand side. Casio Triangle. Of course, Montana doing everybody a favour and clearing those bollards lining up on the grid. It will be.
I was going to predict how they'd last, but not very long.
It will be a front row lockout for Williams, but it's actually a last row lockout for AlphaTauri. They will definitely be hoping that that doesn't stay. It is a fairly decent rundown to turn one. If Tom can get a good launch here, he will be setting his sights on leading the opening lap of season number 20. We're lining up on the grid and we are about to get going. 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. We go racing in Japan. Look at the launch from Tom on the outside. You can see on the onboard camera he's already up alongside his teammate, the two Williamses, down towards turn one. It will be Tom who goes down the inside into Dunlop, and he will exit Dunlop with possibly the lead. Side by side through the S's already. Full risk being taken. Montana will keep the lead here on lap 1 up through the very tricky S section as we head towards 5, 6 and 7. Montana will lead his teammate, but Tom definitely has the momentum here on this opening lap. Legend sticking with these two up the front. The Ferrari will be looking to benefit from some form of a crash, possibly into a Degner 1 and Degner 2 for the first time. So movement at the back. It will be the Matter who's down 2 spots, 2/13ths in that McLaren. He has not got the start on those softs and will be attacking Likitu in front of him down into the no-name hairpin, and it is all getting very, very bunched up on lap 1. The ERT guys really packed in the middle there, but Montana leads this Grand Prix and he's very lucky to do so. Tom definitely got the better race start out of the pair, but it is Montana who got the spot and was braver into turn number 3. Keeps the race lead as we head down towards 130 orbits. J-Luke, he's gone spinning on the mediums, and that will not do his race any favours. Of course, you do have to make 2 pit stops minimum here tonight. He will still have a shot at this, and starting on the mediums, he can go that little bit longer. It is Chalkers trying around the outside for Red Bull Racing. Just can't get it done. He will hold it here on turn 18. There's an Alpine looking to get involved in this one as well. It is J. Cole looking to try make the move past the McLaren and Chalkers. Down into turn number 1. Chalkers still goes the long way around the outside. This is not going to work for him, and it will be TXM who leads into turn number 4. Very, very hectic opening lap.
Yeah, quite a clean one, apart from J-Luke who fit that script of lead damage. Not much changes in the top 10 as Konzo's off in the S's, so the AlphaTauri guys are starting at the back and having it in the mare so far. But yeah, Montana had a poor start there. He sort of ran a bit off track. I thought Tom had the position done, but Montana managed to hold on, and now will these Williams guys work together, or will they fight? As a Legend is looking very frisky in the back of these two, so obviously the DRS will come into effect on the next lap. So will there be a DRS train? Obviously only one DRS zone. It might be quite difficult. It's got another spinner, I believe. Yes, it's the Matter. Spun it at the hairpin. So yeah, a few guys are struggling already for grip, and it's only on lap 1. So yeah, it feels getting spread out at the back, but at the front it's still nice and compacted. But Montana's got a nice comfort at the moment, but he's not breaking that DRS.
Montana is definitely not breaking that DRS, and when it kicks in, there will be a little bit of a boost in the back of the second Williams. Only damage report so far is for Fethbas, and he has had that wing, well, he will have that wing changed by the end of this lap. Really struggling. We start lap 3, and it is Montana who sets the fastest lap with a 1:31.5, but really, that will mean absolutely nothing in the long run because the DRS is activated and his teammate might just be looking for a bit of an overtake now. To Dunlop, the 45 of Shizou Tom, is definitely setting his sights on a possible race win. Takes a bit of grass there, which... not sure if it's the best line. It definitely doesn't seem it, but who knows what these guys can do. They're in the top tier for a reason.
Yeah, that was me. I've spun around to that line, so yeah, he managed to hold it together. Didn't lose too much time, but Legend he's thinking quite nicely, these guys, and they're starting to break away from the cars behind. So these front three, and they start to form the gap as Samba, I believe, who, I don't know why he's so high up, he should have been at the back of the grid, but he's going to have a look at Owen Wyatt here, is he? No, he's too far back, he can't really lunge it. There's a big match spun again, so the McLaren guy, he had a solid race last week, but it's gone all to pot when it really matters. There's Owen Wyatt, he's looking under pressure from Samba, obviously two ERT drivers, so are they working together, or as Owen Wyatt goes wide, he goes really wide in Spoon Corner. That's going to give Samba a great run on Stupach 130. Samba will have the inside line, and I think Owen Wyatt's going to back out of it, but what about Henry? Henry is a bit too far back, but yeah, Owen Wyatt really lost it in Spoon Curb there, and that allowed Samba to peek his way through.
Samba getting the move done. Owen Wyatt was really under pressure. He's under pressure from his teammate now, and if you don't want anyone to overtake you, it is certainly your teammate. Legend sets the fastest lap of the Japanese Grand Prix so far at 1:31.4. Tom just getting a bit too close to his teammate in the braking zone. We've seen a lot of crashes into that turn one of Dunlop. Some of our older fans will definitely know a few, and involve a certain Ayrton Senna and Alain Prost. Don't think we're going to quite get that level of drama tonight, as it is round one. Well, I mean, we hope not, but it was a Ferrari involved, so Legend will be hoping that he's not sent into turn number one. He's definitely looking well as Samba is pushing to get back into that DRS. He has done a successful job of that so far, as he is only 9/10 behind. Just dropping in and out, needs to nail no hairpin, and he certainly does, gaining about 3/10 on the Dutchman in front of him. Montana, though, not pulling away as much as he would like to. This Williams is going to have to do a little bit of defending. He is well capable of doing so as we head down towards 1:30 or... no DRS here, of course, as there is a corner involved. Breaking into the Casio Triangle is probably your second best opportunity of a move. Turn one obviously being your best, as you do have the DRS. This is the Casio Triangle now, of course. And down towards the main straight. Montana, very early pit stop. Dives into the pit lane. That's an interesting strategy. Of course, you have to make those two pit stops, meaning we will get some interesting strategies. We will see what Montana will go on to now. I imagine it would be a set of the mediums, and he will do a medium, but now it is a straight fight between Tom and Legend up the front. Shizou versus IF4, a battle we've definitely seen in some esports cups in recent times. It will be another battle we will see here. I think Tom might struggle, because Legend will have the DRS. Tom, of course, will not. Samba, though, really pushing, and has good pace here, as he is on the back of this train. Of course, it was an ERT man who won here last season. However, it was Khalifa running 6th for Mercedes, and just behind his, well, not his teammate here, but his esports teammate Henry and Owen, who are running well for Aston Martin in 4th and 5th. They'll pick up good points. And thankfully, Fethbas has managed to get himself back on a decent pace again. He lost his wing, and he's the only man to lose a front wing so far. Of course, you can pick up floor damage now on the F1 2021 game. You could all the time, but it is a new addition to this game. Thankfully, nobody picking it up, because that cannot be repaired. A front wing can be repaired, floor damage cannot. Legend 2/10 up on his personal best in the middle sector. That is the fastest lap, although Samba is currently on for a purple lap. Legend Rosenberg and Tom into the pit lane, both of them, and the Ferrari getting close. Samba also in, and so is Owen, meaning it will be Henry who leads, and there is a battle here between McLaren and Mercedes. Khalifa and TXM almost looked like he was porpoising down the straight. That is just the nature of Suzuka. He gets the job done. Up to 2nd position, and Lakitu will pick up the first penalty of the season. Oh, spinner! That's the Haas gone. That is the Haas gone, and a very unconventional place to do it. He thankfully won't drop too many positions due to pit stops, but he certainly drop when he will. That's Konzo gone past, and that is another medium runner gone. He is going quite slowly there. We've no VSC or safety car. Of course, it was just a spin. It was in a very dodgy position, and he was probably lucky to not have anybody near him. But on lap 6, there was a lot of drivers struggling, and it looks like Konzo's picked up a penalty because of that, which is awfully unlucky. Because he just drove past a spinning car.
Yeah, I think he got clipped the inside of Degner a bit too much. As Mane's going slow because he's got to make sure his tyres get back under temperature. If you gun it too much, spin again. So yeah, Mane thinks that pick up the pace again. But yeah, these guys are pitting quite early. Obviously, they're going for the aggressive strategy. Montana has kept the net lead, I believe, as Juju, Tom, Legend, and Samba are all close together. Samba uses a lot of battery to catch up with the guys' head, as I believe Khalifa and TXM are fighting again into the Casio triangle. Now, will these guys pit? They're all going to pit, I think. Yes, they do. They all pit. So
Chalkers stays out.
Stays out, yeah. He's going long, so he's going to take a bit of pain in this stint, but maybe try and recover later on the fresher tyres. But yeah, as we've got a very aggressive pit exit there from the McLaren, just getting out of Khalifa. Obviously, there was a patch in the game where you can have unsafe releases, so the cars are getting very close. As these guys got dropped all the way back of the field, as this field closely bunched together, as we've got Owen Wyatt, who I believe is undercut TXM there. So Owen Wyatt got a nice undercut, and Henry though got the overcut on him, I believe. So yeah, these Aston guys, they really even match for pace, and that could be a battle to watch out for all season.
Really clever move from the Williamses here. You would have seen that on the broadcast. They were passing J. Luke, who probably just let them through. He was letting Montana through. Oh, look at Legend! He's trying to force the move into Techno 1. Is the Dutchman, and we were talking about two guys getting past J. Luke. Tom had a sneaky move into Dunlop. Legend has much more of a difficult opportunity here as he loses it into the hairpin. Just about catches the car. Some fantastic driving, but Samba's made contact. Into the wall goes the Ferrari. The front wing is gone from the Dutchman, and everything has gone wrong there. There will be a virtual safety car. He's come back on the circuit, and just like his teammate, he's down and out of this race almost. He will have to fight back to get this one, and he's struggling to steer the car. Gets it caught on the grass. There is no front wing on that Ferrari. His front wing end plate has gone from 0 to 100 damage, and I don't think I need the TAS system to quite see that one.
No. That is awful, completely unfair. Look, it's worked out beef for Chalkers though. Look, he stayed out that longer. He's going to get a cheap bit stop, and Chalkers will surely rejoin in the lead of the race. So that VSC worked out beautifully. I could see that coming. I could see with Legend being quite aggressive in the deckers. I could see with Samba trying to go for move into the hairpin. I believe Legend blocked the move into the hairpin, and then obviously Samba got the inside line into the hairpin, and it just came to blows, and that will for sure be the shields off. So look at Chalkers, he's come out just behind the Williams guys, so Chalkers has gained about 3 or 4 places trying to run that VSC, and he's on the best tyres of everybody now, so Chalkers is right back in the game. That VSC's worked out beautifully for him, and Nikita, who's on the soft tyres. So yeah, that collision worked well for them.
It has worked absolutely well, as they say. Someone's bad luck is another's good luck, but as we go racing again here in Suzuka, and look at this run from Samba. He's already passed Henry. Henry has been caught napping and is now back down under pressure from his teammate. It was one Aston Martin doing the attacking on the opening stint. Oh, Henry's completely lost it. He's going to be passed by TXM as well. What's happened to Henry here? Oh, he's broken his front wing. It's front wing damage for Henry. That's the issue. That's why he's losing a lot of spots. He does have front right end plate damage. It's not too bad. It's only 26%, but it is enough to put him 1.1 seconds behind Samba. Apologies, behind Lakitu and the cars in front of him. The Williamses have a clear path once again. Chalkers is under pressure from his teammate Samba, who had some really good pace, has already made a move here on lap 8. Is he going to look into the Casio triangle? Probably a bit too risky to do on your teammate. But who knows?
Here. I wonder if Chalkers will let Samba through. Because your Samba's great pace early on. Yeah, and obviously it's a shame for Henry. You have to pit, and obviously presumably going to set a hard tyres to the end, which... And he'll be praying for a safety car. Now will there be a yield here from Chalkers?
Here it is. It is a yield.
Yeah, team orders.
That is that's fairly clever from Red Bull.
Yeah. So Chalkers didn't lose too much time because he's in the slipstream, and if he can stick it back to Samba, he'll get DRS.
Oh, Lakitu on the grass. Apologies, overcut but that is Lakitu losing it at Dunlop, and I have to say, we are in Japan, and he has kicked up a bit of Tokyo drift to save that car. The Alfa Romeo has only lost 1 spot as a result of that. He's down to 8th, and Henry has made his way into the pits. But just back on the Red Bull situation, they are now 2.1 seconds ahead of their nearest competitor, and Chalkers can just get a bit of slipstream, a bit of DRS, and Samba can go chasing after the 2 men he is behind. 3 seconds behind them both. He will be hoping to catch lap 9 already. It has been a fantastic race so far here. The early pit stops making a very exciting spectacle. A lot of yellow flags. That is not really for anything. There's nobody gone off.
Flag, I think. Yeah, if I don't know, there's a fancy yellow flag in S's all the time for some reason. The Keto struggling a little bit in the spoon corner. J. Cole may fancy a run into 130 out and the Casio Triangle. J. Cole is on the battery. Nikita, his tyres may still not be back to ideal range, and J. Cole's going to get a nice run for 130R here. Would he send it the inside of the Casio
He's going
triangle?
for it into the Casio Triangle. Is it going to be a dummy manoeuvre? No, he's just going to stick behind and take the DRS down towards Dunlop. Samba once again regains his fastest lap, but it's instantly beaten by the McLaren of TXM. Chalkers has gone past his teammate down the straight, so maybe just getting the slingshot off each other. It's a tactic we've seen from some teams in the past.
J. Cole on the
Chalkers
outside.
passed. Oh, Nikitu's gone again.
Yeah, there was contact there between J. Cole and Nikita. J. Cole went round the outside and they came to blows, and Nikita was the second lap.
Oh, and White's lost his wing. He spun around. The Aston Martin has made a mistake as well, and that is 2 cars gone from that midfield pack. Oh, what completely lost his front right end plate. But again, you don't need statistics to say that. You can definitely see it yourself. Lucky to be in the race. That looked a fairly high-speed crash.
Yeah, if you lose it there, look, the walls are quite close to certain places. You can easily lose the wheels. Yeah, as I did mention, Sector 1 would be quite tricky, but I don't expect these Pinnacle drivers to be caught as much as they are. So, yeah, they are pushing the envelope. These are relatively fresh tyres, so once you go back a few laps at a time when the tyres are a bit harder, now will anybody come in for the pits? I don't believe anyone's in the pit window yet. The only guy who will come in, but surely will be Owen to change that wheel.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think Owen should probably think about a pit stop. Yeah, maybe the key too, as those tyres are probably more shredded than he like. We are under virtual safety car, of course, and Montana is just going to be pushing that delta a little bit to try drop his teammate out of that window. Neither of the front guys into the pit lane, understandably so. It is a Williams 1-2 and a Red Bull 3-4. Red Bull finished 1-2 here back when we raced a while ago now, actually. As we go racing again, Samba gets the slingshot off Chalkers, and this is definitely what these two are doing, because Chalkers has just lifted off that accelerator pedal into that corner. Owen is in the pits. Lakitu will stay out. There's no cars around him to spin him now, so hopefully he is all good. Legend is battling back to get past Matt, who is in 15th spot. Legend, of course, was running on the podium, and is now Samba, who has taken his position. 5 tenths separate the front two, so we are still well within a battle. And the other close battle on track is this man, Konzo, trying to break into the top 10, trying to get past Fetbas, who, of course, was the unlucky soul on lap number 1. He was the first man to make a pit stop.
Very decent recovery though in top 10. Obviously top 12 do score points. So Fetbas, he stayed in the race. He made a decent recovery. He's going to look at some points.
Oh, crash! That's J-Luke.
First retirement. He's lost it.
Safety car.
Yeah, safety car. Yeah, wow, it's a big crash. He's lost
That's a big incident. We're on board with the McLaren, and you can see that AlphaTauri has hit the inside wall and has ricocheted off the barrier onto the opposite side of the circuit, and that is 100% a legitimate safety car. And Williams are pitting. Williams will be pitting, because you can see Tom just backing off to get the double stack. Samba needs to push right on the rear of this Williams just to try and get the stop. It will be possibly medium tyres or hard tyres to the end. Of course, the statistics, apologies, and the data says it will be 16 laps for mediums. We are 16 laps from the end of the race, and everybody really taking this opportunity to come in for a pit stop. There won't be a better opportunity than this late on in the race. Red Bull held up by the double stack. Williams might also be held up by the double stack. We'll see Samba. He has got him. Samba is ahead of Tom. Chalkers has dropped down below Khalifa. So a little bit of a change, and now it's not as comfortable for Williams at the front of the grid because they do have a competitor behind.
Yeah, we have decent pace, and obviously I've got to mention that there is a rule, a steward's rule, where drivers under Delta are not allowed to drop back more than 5 seconds on the Delta. I believe Tom will be alright, because I believe the gap was around 3 seconds.
Yeah, so I think he was okay there. I think
he should be okay for that, but obviously that's to stop guys really taking the nick on the Delta run way off the pace. But yeah, Tom should be fine, and it's not a disaster for Tom. He's only lost one place. It could have been a lot worse. So
definitely
still in the race, and it's like TXM. He's having a. I want to mention him. He's having a solid race. I have to say, he's made some good progress, and he's shown some decent pace, and he's right in this podium battle. And I've been impressed by him. Obviously, it's his debut. I don't use the word rookie in this take, because obviously these guys aren't really rookies, but it's his debut in this league, and I've been impressed by the way he's driven.
Every driver has completed their mandatory 2 stops. Henry didn't come in under the safety car. He only came in 2 laps ago. So everybody can go to the end, apart from Fetbus, who is on a set of softs. But everybody has made their mandatory 2 pit stops. And the man with the most pit stops is the 2 at the back, Legend and Owen. Of course, Owen has been really helped out, actually, because he had that crash, lost his front wing, and now he's back with the train. But it is Montana leading. Hasn't led every lap this race, of course, because he made that early pit stop, but he's led every lap that... I was about to say he's led every lap that he's been at the front at, but that would be a bit stupid, actually.
The closest car's car in front of him. Yeah,
the winner of the race will probably be the man in first.
Yeah,
that was not the best phrase. We'll pretend that didn't happen. What I was actually trying to say was not under pit stop conditions, when there's been different guys and mediums out in front. Montana has been at the lead for all of it. He has been followed by his teammate for all of it, but now he has Samba behind. And as I've probably mentioned one too many times, Red Bull have won this race last time we were here in Suzuka, Japan.
Fetbus is in. He's going to change. I wonder if Fetbus pitted just to get rid of a tyre compound and just put
could
the
have been
softs on. And that's what he's
the only tyres he had used were the mediums, so he did pit to get to use that, because you do have to change compounds.
Yeah, you have to use the 2 compounds. You mentioned the 16 laps of the mediums. Let's not forget, these safety car laps, they will reduce the tyre wear. So these guys should get to the end. I mean, if I could manage it, surely these guys can. So he's put that in, but yeah, the safety car should be coming in end of this lap, I believe, looking at the field.
It should be, and there's some beautiful scenery around here, Suzuka. We have just passed it. There you can see the Ferris wheel of the Motopia Fun Fair. Runs on race weekends. Definitely would be some good fun for the drivers if they were allowed to go there, but they're probably not. Some beautiful scenery. Of course, the track built by Honda, and Fuji built by Toyota. So the Car Wars even goes to racetracks here in Japan. The fan culture at the Japanese Grand Prix is maybe one of the best in the world, actually, especially if you do get to see a Japanese driver on the podium. There's not many, but maybe someday Mr. Sonoda can get himself up there.
When Kobayashi did it one year, it was absolutely
he did it for Sauber. That was a great race, that was.
Yeah. Sato is massive as well, so hopefully Sonoda can do well. Obviously, it's Japan's Grand Prix will be returned this year, and it's good to see it back on the F1 calendar.
It's an early start for us Europeans, about 4 in the morning, but it will be a fantastic race. Of course, the first ever Japanese Grand Prix here was won by... first ever Japanese Grand Prix was in the Fuji Speedway. It was the famous Lauda versus Hunt Championship battle. James Hunt finishing third to claim the 1976 Formula 1 World Championship. Montana will be hoping to win here, as there is a 5-second time penalty for Khalifa and Chalkers. As we go racing in Suzuka, Montana gets away really well from Samba, and Samba has work to do. Montana went fairly early, went before the Casio Triangle. You can see he's sacrificing a bit of tyre temperatures, just weaving as we enter Dunlop. There is a battle here in the Key 2. do. And J. Cole gets the job done there. Really nice overtake for the Alpine. These guys are a lot more bunched up than the front crew were. Of course, they're not going to get the best restart as Montana picks when everybody goes. These guys do not. Legend already working his way back into the top 10. He is in the points in 11th, of course, top 12 for points here in one hub. TXM has kept with Tom, and that is what he'll be hoping to do for the remainder of this race. We are on lap 14. We're over halfway through. He's got this far and he can keep going, but Montana is really starting to show his class and show that qualifying pace once again. 1/10 of a second ahead of the Red Bull of Samba. Tom will be hoping to get past this Red Bull so he can keep with Montana and just not let him pull away. It is a purple sector 1 for Montana. However, I don't think it'll be the fastest lap, as that's normally what happens on these safety car restart laps.
Montana I think he caught Samba by surprise. I think Samba expected him to go at the front of the corner, but he went to the Castle Triangle. That's the textbook restart there for Montana. We don't tend to see that anymore. Drivers go for the last corner, but he worked out beautifully. And yeah, Samba is in second place. He's within that second, but Montana. And Tom's not really threatening the back of Samba. Samba looks quite comfortable in second place. These front three starting to get spread out a little bit. And TXM, as you mentioned, he's hanging on. As Khalifa, obviously, no people got damage from collision. I believe that's just a little bump when they were getting ready. And obviously, if they don't pit again, they can get that removed by the stewards. You've got Owen White and Legend going side by side. Legend's gone deep in
Legend's gone very deep. Legend got the move done before Spoon Curve, and he's just lost the move now to Owen in 10th spot. So Owen sticking with his Aston Martin teammate. They've been together all race. They are having a world of a time. There was no damage for any of the guys who got penalties. Our telemetry saying J. Luke, the last man to get damage, unfortunately, in that crash out of the race. That gap up the front is now 1 second. Samba needs to push. The last lap was a 29.8 for Montana.
Sorry, Mane was at Deccan 2, got in the gravel, and he's lost some time. And
he's lost a lot of time there. Yeah, he's on the hard tyres, so he'll be struggling.
He almost spun it. He did well to recover it. He's lost 2 places. Yeah, that was very scary. Sorry, I was on board with him and I had a bit of jump there.
Matt has got a great move around the outside into no-name hairpin. He really had no space, but he got the job done. And that is a great move. This gap up the front now is 1.1 seconds, meaning there'll be absolutely no DRS for ERT Samba. And he is definitely going to lose the position to Tom, whether he likes it or not, because Tom will have a lot of DRS and a lot more straight line speed. Although I say that, and he should give the guy a chance. He could defend this, although it is highly, highly unlikely, because the DRS down this main straight is very powerful. You can see him gaining already is the Williamsman.
Yeah, he didn't use DRS that lap for some reason, so I think it comes online next lap as, yeah, look how much confident Tom is through the S's. Samba is really struggling for the balance there, and obviously Tom will be having a bit of dirty air effect, so he wanted to get a little bit closer than what he is. Obviously, Tom has used, these guys are using a lot of their battery, so they are quite low on the battery, so they're using that on the restart, I guess. And TXM in third place. TXM just wants to try and stay out of DRS and keep with these guys, but yeah, Tom is... He's close, but he needs to be close to this if he wants to get an overtake done. He's too far back, I think, at the moment.
There's a bit of a wobble from Samba through turn number 9. That is the long left-hander that we've seen J-Luke unfortunately retire from the Grand Prix. If he makes a few more little mistakes like that, he will start to see that Williams become a lot bigger in the rear wing. Through the rear wing, apologies. Of course, if he could... had a rear view mirror, it would probably be a lot better. However, he definitely does not. Tom is right close now. He is gaining a lot. He's 4/10 behind as we enter the Casio Triangle. Samba is going to have to be careful because Tom is a man on the move, and Tom wants to be back in the fight for this race win. Down the main straight, we start lap number 17. I think Samba might just be able to keep this one, but you can see that Red Bull. The red light is flashing. He is regenerating some battery, meaning he's lower than 10% into Dunlop. Tom gets really close, but it is not close enough. It's one thing to catch a man. It is another thing to overtake him through the S's now. 5 in through 6. Takes 5th gear through most of this. Downshifts to 4th. There's Tom, so he is using the gears very well, saving the tyres, nice and smooth steering. Doing everything right so far is the Williams, but his teammate is doing it better because he has a 1.5 second gap to this man in second place. And these lot have fallen away from Khalifa, who is 3.7 seconds down the road. They have did a masterful job. Legend still can't get past that Aston Martin. He got the move done and lost it. He cannot find a way back past. Struggling a lot here is the Dutchman.
Yeah, that incident with Samba's cost him dear, because he was fighting for the race win with Montana and Tom, and because of that incident, he's just in his field, and when you get bogged down on a track like Suzuka, it's only one overtaking opportunity. If you mess up, then you've got to wait again. As I've been on only a few laps, and knowing why that car does not look very nice through the spoon corner, as I believe Suzuka Tom is a little bit closer to Samba this time, so he may fancy the move. As
Samba's made a mistake there. Samba's made another mistake through 18, and now Tom senses an opportunity to go down the inside of the Red Bullman. The Honda crowd will be cheering this Red Bull to stay in front, but no cheers will keep that Williams behind. He has soared off into the distance, into Dunlop, and Tom makes it a Williams 1-2 again. There'll be a big Safina sponsorship in front of Samba now for the rest of this lap, as there is no chance he'll get past or get another go until the main straight. Bit of movement behind. That is J. Cole past Khalifa. And is that somebody gone off again? No, it is just lag for the yellow flag. No, it is. It's Fetbas for Ferrari, who has gone off. He has not lost any damage there. So the car is still intact. His dignity might not be the same, but he will try to catch up.
As I mentioned, Legend has got bio, and I watched that down the pit straight. Quite an easy move now. Legend get the move done. As this fancy yellow flag is quite annoying. As J. Cole gets through, that's a cushy move for him, because I think Khalifa is struggling a little bit. He seems to be holding a few guys back, and J. Cole hopefully try and break the Khalifa gap, and he can. It's a solid 5th place. I don't think he has the pace to catch guys ahead, but J. Cole's going to bank some really nice points for Alpine. Obviously, one man down this week, and yeah, it's looking good. It's TXM. No, this TXM fancy a podium here. Obviously, Samba will stop the DRS, but I think TXM is the quicker of the two drivers, and Samba, he's starting to drop back a bit from Tom. Next few laps, Mark one to keep an eye out for is Chalkers and Khalifa. Khalifa's all over the curves, and Chalkers was going to have a great run down the pit straight, and
the pit DRS, straight again.
Yeah, they're going to both have DRS. Chalkers has not got much battery left, so that might cost him. And Khalifa's got great straight line speed. Yeah, that lack of battery from Chalkers, I think, cost him an opportunity for the overtake.
Yeah, it wasn't going to get it done. It was one Red Bull who got overtaken on the last lap. This Red Bull couldn't make the move quite stick. He will stick with Khalifa for the remainder of this lap and see can he get it done. But Samba, since we've had this safety car restart, has just really struggled on the pace. He was with the front two in terms of pace, the front three, because Legend was there at the time in the first stint, but he's really struggling now.
Yeah, he's just the car seems a little bit more nervous. I don't know. It seems to have really good straight line speed. I wonder if he's struggling in the middle sector, because I mentioned earlier when Tom was racing him, Tom wasn't really gaining it. He took a mistake for Tom to get by, and look at Samba's. He's got a bit more confidence back. He's starting to close up on the back of the Williams guys. So I wonder if Samba may fancy a repass here. But yeah, Samba, he just got to keep it steady, keep it calm. He's still in a good position, but yeah, he just hasn't quite got the race pace of the Williams guys, who are looking at a commanding position. As we've got this midfield battle, we've got Khalifa, Chalkers, Lucato, Henry, Legend, and Owen Wyatt all in the train. So that could be fireworks come in the race. Samba, he's just struggling in the last corner.
He's made that mistake again in the last corner. And that's what's costing him a shot at this Williams. He's you can see by straight line speed, if he could just get that little bit closer, you definitely get the move done on the Williams. He just needs to hook up turn 18 a lot better. And you were saying his straight line speed, yeah, it's a purple sector 2 and 3 for Samba. He doesn't have the fastest lap, but he's the fastest man in the second sector and the fastest man in the third sector. The fastest man in the first sector is Tom, but the fastest lap goes to neither of them. Montana has the fastest lap, and these guys tripping over each other a little bit is benefiting, and that is Owen gone.
Owen White's spun, yeah, it's another VSC, so these VSCs coming out for spins, which is quite interesting. Obviously nobody's near the pits, and you don't want to pit anywhere late in the race unless you're near the back of Anthony Gamble on softs. But yeah. Second, the S's Owen White, I was feeling confident around this track, and he had a good qualifier that, but the race hasn't gone the way he wanted to, I don't think, because as he's dealt with, obviously Samba Samba will be trying. Maybe Samba may fancy these deltas as an opportunity to pass. Maybe if he can catch Tom unawares. But yeah, as I mentioned, yeah, Samba would have been by at last lap if he didn't make that mistake in the last corner. That cost him the overtake, in my view.
Yeah, would totally agree. He's really struggled to 18. That's how he's lost the spot. That's how he didn't get another chance at the spot. On the virtual safety car again, though, Samba will be trying to close that gap and trying to catch Tom napping. And so Tom will be trying to catch his teammate napping as well, because he needs to get back in that 1 second. Doesn't look like he's going to do it so far. 2:18, Samba hooks it up, but unfortunately he's not going to get a go at the move this time, so we are under the virtual safety car. Doesn't look like we're getting going just yet. It's almost been a lap under the yellows, of course, from the crash from home white. And now we go racing, and that is a drive-through for Fetbass. That's unlucky for him. That's just his race going from horrible to terrible, if you could make that analogy. Unfortunately for him, Samba's not caught the Williams napping. If anything, the Williams has caught him napping, because he is gaining up through turn number 9. However, Samba does gain a little bit back through this sector. Of course, he is the quickest man in this sector by a landslide. Just needs to hook up turn 18 a little bit better so we can have a go at the Williams. Lakitu and Chalkers, something's going on here. He's lost his front wing. He's lost a bit of his front wing, and he's dropped down to 10th position.
Yeah, they were fighting close together. One has been contact there. He's got horrific understeer, and I believe Henry has.
As well. They've both made some form of contact that has allowed the two Ferrari-powered cars of Lakitu and Legend to go through. It is 7th spot for Lakitu, 8th spot for Legend. Lakitu has that penalty as well, which will give Legend another spot. The gap is now over a second between Samba and Tom. That is crucial for the remainder of this race.
Yeah, TXM's looking feisty. He's gaining on Samba. How's TXM with the fancy final 2 corners? Yeah, it's looking good so far. He's half a second back. I think he maybe he's too far back, but Samba's going to have to go defensive. TXM's going to get the slipstream, but I think he's too far back unless he fancies a late lunge in turn 1. No, he's too far back as he finds it off as J. Cole's in solid 5th place. As Chalkers and Henry are both pitted. So Aston Martin guys, they are running out of front wings, you have to say, tonight. They've gone through them quite a bit.
They have, which is unfortunate for them. They've both had a poor race. Henry, though, is currently still on course to pick up points. It is the top 12 for points in One Hub. It is different to the usual Formula 1 format. Samba has dropped off Tom completely, meaning there'll be no DRS. He is regenning on the ERS. And TXM is doing all the right things if he wants to take a podium here for McLaren, of course. It would mean it would be an all Mercedes powered podium for McLaren and Williams, of course.
McLaren and Williams used to be the big rivals in the 90s.
Yeah, of course. We're getting a retro back. We're on one of the old school circuits. It's not Tilke designed. It's definitely a throwback. If we could get 2 Williamses and a McLarens, if there's any of our old F1 fans watching, I'm sure you'll be reeling in the ears if we could get that. But there is still a battle on TXM's hand before we go back to some nostalgia. He needs to make this overtake, and Samba has looked a lot better through 18 on this lap than he has on previous.
That was a good exit. Yeah, that was a really good exit. Helped not there, and Samba.
He still could be done here, because here comes the McLaren. The straight line speed gonna pass the Honda-powered Red Bull to the outside. Goes the McLaren, and it's around the outside into the Dunlop curve. The Red Bull keeps, and Samba has lost the spot and is off the podium. That was a fantastic executed move from TXM to gain the podium at 23 or 27. Just has to get a few more laps under his belt, does TXM, and he will take a podium in the opening round of the Pinnacle tier. Samba was defenceless. He tried to defend, but really couldn't do much.
He had no battery left to defend, and TXM used the last of his battery to get through. Now Samba will have to try and keep close here. He's had a nice run through the deck of the corners. Maybe he may fancy a repass, but yeah, I was quite surprised there.
Mistake on the hairpin. Mistake on the exit for Samba. He hasn't lost too much time, luckily enough, but he's definitely going to try a move either into the Casio Triangle or into Dunlop again, because he has stuck with the McLaren. He didn't quite have the pace of Tom. He definitely has the pace of TXM when he gets a bit of slipstream and DRS under his belt. He will have another go. I'd love to see a move into 130R today, but I don't think we will get one. Samba
That's been
right into the
great.
slipstream, takes a much narrower line through that corner. TXM is defending, which could compromise his exit out of turn number 17 into 18. TXM's got a good exit. He's got a better one than the Red Bull. Here he comes down the main straight. Samba is going to retake this move. There's not much TXM can do. The DRS very powerful. Samba back onto the podium.
The opportunity may come down to who is the DRS on the final lap. That's what it may come down to. There's a lot of DRS where he passes a Legend. He's on the back of Lakita. So Legend in his recovery drive is trying to maybe get a top 6 finish after, which is going to be some decent points for him, but not could be a lot better for him. But yeah, Samba and TXM are going to swap positions because they've both got similar amount of battery. They've both got similar pace and. DRS is very powerful, so as long as they don't mess up the last corner, then they're gonna keep repassing each other. As Henry sets his fastest lap, obviously outside the top 10, you do have a point fast lap and inside the top 10, so Henry will be getting 2 points as things stand. But these guys at the back, I believe they're coming again for another set of softs and trying to be set a fastest lap of the race.
Legend has got the move done on Lakitu, but he picked up a 3-second penalty while doing it. It does put him on par with Lakitu, as that is on gone again for Aston Martin.
Yeah, third time he's spun there, so yeah, he's tired of shot on your own Wyatt's only hope for a point now is a fastest lap attempt.
He hasn't broken his wings, so there'll not be any more cost for an Aston Martin front wing, but he's not doing well with the spins. He will definitely look to pick that up next week. We return to this battle for the podium. It will be TXM having another go at Samba for the podium positions. We're on to lap 25. There's not long left. It will be TXM going for the move. Samba doesn't even defend. He's going to stick behind as TXM goes down the inside, and McLaren have their hands on a podium once again.
If on the penultimate lap, if your guy behind, will you hang back and wait for the DRS on the last lap? I wonder if that might be a strategy. If whoever's behind into the penultimate lap, I wonder if that's going to be the plan.
It's definitely a good idea. It's definitely something Samba should consider, because if he overtakes now and TXM can keep with him, he will retake the place. Yellow flag in Sector 2. It is Fetpass gone for Ferrari.
Yeah, because I think how powerful DRS is, he's just like, if you win half a second coming out the chicane, you're going to get the move done. There's these guys, they just seem to keep sorting places like it's a go-kart race. So yeah, it could be one to keep an eye out for. We'll see how Sam does approach this first corner. Is he yellow flag? I believe that is Fetpass.
That's Chalkers.
It's Chalkers, yeah, he's spun it into the middle of the S's. So yeah, a lot of guys have lost it in the S section.
Legend has set his fastest first sector. Konzo has set his fastest first sector. Konzo, of course, running 11th. He's only 9/10 off the top 10. He'll be looking to break into it. Let's see what Samba does. Is he going to go for the move, or is he going to lift off that power and stick behind? He is going to definitely go for this move into Dunlop. Side by side, Red Bull takes the spot. He doesn't want any tactics. He just wants to get the spot, and that is Owen, I think, gone again.
For it again, yeah. Owen is obviously very close. I think he's very close to being lapped, I think. So yeah, we see a lot of gravel on. You see gravel on the line now. The guys have been off and recovering. So yeah, a lot of gravel has been brought onto the racetrack tonight. As TXM is very aggressive into the deck corners. Samba try and break away, but it's impossible. It seems impossible for this guy to break away. TXM is the favourite for the podium, believe it or not. Even though he's behind, if he can stick this sort of gap, he'll get through. But I believe Samba will actually defend this. Samba got a nice run through the hairpin.
Samba has, yeah.
Yeah, TXM needs to be a bit closer, and obviously Samba will actually fight for the first corner. We'll actually have a battle in turn 1 on this last lap.
It won't be a simple DRS pass. These guys will be going for it. It will be TXM to attack, but he has to do a job on this because he has lost the gap a little bit. It's still very close, but Samba needs to do all that he can through the Casio triangle. Samba hasn't been strong through here today, but that's a mistake from TXM. This could be the race done. That is a big error through the first part of the Casio triangle. Samba bolts down the Suzuka straight, 8/10 of a second. That is arguably race done, unless he can go for a late dive into the Casio triangle. That was his shot, and Samba made the absolute correct decision going for the move in the penultimate lap, because it has worked out favourably for him. The Red Bull will keep the podium because TXM is struggling through these S's now, and he has made another mistake on the entrance into 6th. He's still going to push this one though, because Samba's now made the mistake. Samba's had the wobble there. We'll get the telemetry up for the battery, but these guys are both completely drained. There is absolutely no battery in either of these cars. TXM, his only saving grace will be the slipstream. He's pushing a lot to try and gain this position through the no-name hairpin. Samba's pushing here. These guys, the mediums will not be too pretty. Of course, it was 16 laps is the ideal for them. That is what the data provided to us has said. They've did 14 now. They'll get one more run down towards the Casio triangle, but Samba's got a great run there. TXM's going to have to do a lot if he wants to make this move stick. I don't think he's going to be close enough.
As Montana is approaching the 5-3
Here he comes, Montana, through 18. He has dominated this race from start to finish. It will be a Williams 1-2 in Suzuka. Montana takes the win in the Pinnacle tier. Tom will take second spot. He was looking like he wouldn't get it for a moment, ahead of the man who will finish in third. Samba takes a podium in the end for Honda. Honda will stand on the podium in their home circuit. J. Cole will take fifth. Legend will get sixth ahead of Khalifa, as he did over 5 seconds. Lakitu will only get ninth, and Matt has fought his way back into 8th position. Fair play to him. Konzo will take 10th ahead of Mane in 11th. Henry is pushing for a fastest lap attempt here. He is actually the holder of the fastest lap as it stands, so he will get a point for that.
He really was kind of improve on that. We've got Chalkers as Henry almost beans it across the line. I'm happy about his race. He's going to score a point at least. Chalkers, he's put some good sectors together. Can Chalkers nick this point off Henry and get a fast lap point as inside the top 10? The fast lap is Montana, so he will get 21 points.
There's a battle on the final lap as well here for the final placings between 14th and 15th. Fetbass is going to look for a move here. This race might be over for the leaders. It's certainly not over for these guys. Into the Casio triangle. Dummies him in, dummies him out. Chalkers gets the fastest lap. Down the inside goes Fetbass, but he will not get the spot. Owen will keep it and will keep 14th position. Fetbass. Oh, that's not a pretty way to end the race. He actually will not be a classified finisher.
No, he saved his lap on the engine wear, I guess. That was part of the plan, but anyway.
We'll find out. That's not the way you want to end your race. Konzo wins the in-game driver of the day, but for the actual driver of the day, you can head to the OneHub Twitter account, as here is Montana dishing out some versions of the F1 2021 game to round out a victory.
Yeah, it was a good round. Williams, well, 1-2 on the grid and 1-2 in the races. We've got a Swiss, a Cameroon driver, and a Belgian driver on the podium. We've seen they've got 3 nationalities you normally see on the podium, so that's interesting to see.
Yeah, Tom actually said earlier he was doing this race for his brothers in Cameroon. He's got a second.
He's done the proud.
He's done the proud. It is Montana who takes the win here in the Pinnacle tier, ahead of his teammate Tom. It is a 1-2 for 2 races in a row here in Suzuka. And of course, they started first and second as well. Samba gets third ahead of TXM in 4th. J. Cole in 5th ahead of Legend in 6th. Khalifa in 7th. The Matter in 8th. Lakitu in 9th. Konzo finishing in 10th. Mane in 11th. Henry 12th. Chalkers 13th. And your final classified finisher is Owen Wast in 14th.
Yeah, Fetbass and J. Luca DNF. Fetbass will get a classification 15th, but he will not get the race finishes. And as he mentioned throughout the days, I think I am going to go for I know it's boring, but I'm going to go for the race winner, Montana. I think he showed a commanding performance. Obviously, he's unpulled by over 3 attempts. He dominated the race. I'm going to ask him, well, that was a perfect start to your one-hub racing career. 21 points. How do you feel after taking such a commanding race victory?
It was a great race all round. Of course, we can have a few little reports from inside the drivers' chat. J. Cole not happy with the safety car restart. Of course, he didn't actually finish the race. He was our first DNF of the season. Jamie, any final words from you?
Yeah, it should be a good race, and obviously you've got to now nominate your driver of the day.
My driver of the day, I will... See, it's a difficult one thinking of this one on the spot, I can't lie. I do have the race results beside me, and I'm trying to think. Do I go boring? Do we go interesting? I'm going to go for Samba. He's taken his podium, he's taken one in Honda's race. He drove well, and after struggling a little bit, he managed to pick up the podium. Of course, his pace was really good in the start of the race. It was a little bit iffy in between, but then he got the move done. I've probably completely robbed someone of a deserved nomination, but I'll go for Samba for this one.
Do you have a question for their drivers of the day press conference for him?
Question for Samba is probably just, did he think he had the pace to win? Or sorry, did he think he had the pace for a podium today? And is he happy with taking a podium in the first race of the season? Of course, he finished 10th last season. He started a lot better this one. You have to include this bit in the question, of course. But he started 10th last season, and he has started a lot better. And does he think he can improve? Does he think he can take a win this season? It will be interesting to see.
Yeah, and I wonder if we had an issue in qualifying with Samba. I wonder if we did get his time in qualifying and the drivers did. I wonder if that's why Samba started higher than we thought. I wonder, maybe that's why he started higher than we thought. Maybe we didn't get his time on the stream. So that's, yeah, he's going to sort the stream, as you mentioned. I say that was quite an enjoyable race. I think it was obviously a sort of nice overtaking. There was a few moments, a few offs, a few spins, but I think watching it, there's not too many incidents. Quite a clean race, and the Williams guys will for sure be delighted. And Samba, I think he'd be quite happy as well. But yeah, the Williams guys, they are looking strong. And obviously next week we have the Mexican Grand Prix at Mexico City, the Hermanos Rodriguez circuit, and that's a slightly different chest to Suzuka, so I wonder how the pecking order may change around that track.
It will be very, very interesting for sure, but I believe that is all we do have time for here in the Pinnacle tier. We do hope you enjoyed it, as of course we are heading to the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez next weekend. Next weekend. I know the race is on Friday, but may as well be a great start to the weekend. Thank you all for watching. My name has been Evan Dalton. I'm joined alongside Jamie, and we will see you next time.